Well, hello, Mariners. I'm here with Kira Tucker.
Hi.
She's a fabulous student assistant here in the Mariner Media Center. And today we are going to examine the question, when is it okay to use Wikipedia? Kira, do you use Wikipedia?
I will admit I do use Wikipedia from time to time, just to like do little things to settle like arguments with my friends, try and figure out who's right, who's wrong. But nothing necessarily for like academic research purposes, just to kind of get a quick answer from somewhere that I know has an answer.
I think that's an excellent use of Wikipedia. And you say you haven't done it for research purposes. When it's serious academic research purposes, well, what do your teachers have to say about Wikipedia?
Well, my teachers have always told me, ever since we kind of started using computers when I was younger, to never use Wikipedia with like research papers in school.
Do they say why?
No, I that's it kind of loses its credibility in that sense.
Indeed. And let me just hit the slide show so we can look at that credibility issue. Because when I search for something in Google, Wikipedia comes up pretty close to the top. I'm going to say within the first 5 hits of a Google search. So, how can I, as an information professional, tell an entire student and staff body to say, don't use this resource that millions of people use every day? So, Kira and I are going to show you guys the good about Wikipedia and the not so good about Wikipedia, when it's appropriate, when it's not appropriate. So, yes, so that's our goal, how to use it appropriately. Oh, I almost forgot the brief history, Kira. So, Wikipedia exists because of Jimmy Wales. He was an early person in the Silicon Valley boom of the 1990s. He thought, gosh, everybody should have access to an encyclopedia because when I was a kid, ye old set of print encyclopedias cost several $1,000s. My family used my father's old set from the 1940s. In the 90s, Microsoft put out a cheaper encyclopedia. It was a couple $100 in Carta. It was a set of several discs to use, but still a couple $100. Jimmy Wales said, knowledge should be free, and we are going to get volunteers to write it by creating it as a wiki, because a wiki just means any page that is editable. Okay? It could be editable with a password, or it could be editable because you just went there. So, what's good about Wikipedia and what keeps it from being quotable? Kira, I'm going to stop sharing my screen so you can take it away. And
Just
boom.
So what I have pulled up in another tab is a Wikipedia article for information on a Siamese cat. So, like Miss Iverson said, there are good things about Wikipedia, even though it isn't quotable in terms of like a research paper. One good thing is that its Wikipedia articles are always very recently updated. So if you look all the way, scroll to the bottom, it says that this one was last updated on the 26th of October of this year. So that's super recent, like 2 weeks ago. And also just scroll a little bit more up. We have all of these references that were used by the editors of this article to get the information that's in this article. So using this reference section within your Wikipedia articles as like a springboard for finding more information, more places to find further information on your subject is it's a perfect place to look. However, if you scroll all the way back up to the top of the article, you go over to view history, we can see who's edited the Wikipedia article
And
since it was created.
Are they experts, Kira?
The problem is that they are not. If we click on just this first one right here, it gives some little badges to the Wikipedia writers. None of them have anything to do with maybe being a vet or a zoologist or anything like that. They give them little like anti-vandalism stars and stuff like that, but it doesn't give them. It doesn't say that they have the correct credentials to be academically writing about Siamese cats.
Okay,
Um,
so like you said, a veterinarian would be an expert on cats, a
mhm.
zoologist. Wait, can we go back to that anti vandalism barn star, though?
Yeah,
That's one of my favorite Wikipedia jobs that people do. Because, when kids go in, typically when Wikipedia first started and kids were using it, when I taught at Brick Memorial, they'd use Wikipedia as a reference. Back then, you could change Wikipedia and your change would live there for weeks. And you'd be like, I'm a troll. I just said Miss Iverson smells bad in the middle of an article about ukuleles. But the anti vandalism barn stars because this volunteer monitors pages continuously. So if somebody acts like a troll, he or she goes in and boom, fixes it. So they're an awesome volunteer, right?
hmm
But not an expert on cats.
yeah, and that's the problem.